many plays as we can, make sure the defense is tired, and then take advantage of the DBs that are tired and take advantage of the defensive line that are tired that can't make a rush. And throw it up to a guy like Michael Pittman. It makes it really easy when you have that kind of a tempo going.
Matt, I'm looking at you in the eyes. You know what happened tonight, man? I mean, this is once in a lifetime stuff that I don't think have you been able to digest?
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
He just came off the field.
This is awesome, man.
I'd like to get back and see I had a few friends come over and watch the game. Obviously, they weren't expecting me to get in, so I can't wait to go meet up with them later, see my family, call my girlfriend, and watch the game. Obviously, they weren't expecting me to get in, so I can't wait to go meet up with them later, see my family, call my girlfriend, and have a good night.
Hey, man, don't let this night end, man.
Go enjoy, man.
Go enjoy, man. You deserve it, bro. Good job, man. Good job.
Thanks for joining us on set. Make sure to take that lid back there with you. You might need it in Seattle. Big game versus Washington next Saturday on Fox. And you talked about the wide receiver play. Matt, it's been the strength of this USC all season long. And Michael Pittman Jr. tonight was absolutely a 10 grabs, 232, a touchdown. Most yards by a USC receiver since 2012 when Marquise Lee did that. So when the passing game needed to step up, Marquise Lee's guy that surpassed him, Michael Pittman, was the one, Matt, that was able to jump up and really kind of fill that void for him.
Yeah, he was fantastic tonight. We talked about this receiving core in the pregame. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyler Vaughns, but Michael Pittman, I mean, just a guy. I got a chance to talk to him this summer at Pac-12 Media Day. He's a great leader for this football team, but he's also a great playmaker. And you just heard Matt talk about it. We all play with great receivers. When you have a receiver like that who you can count on, who at some time, on this play, you kind of just throw the football up and you let your best players, coach, you talk about let your best players go make plays. And he was sensational tonight. He wears a C on his chest for a reason. He's a captain, and he played like it tonight.
Hey, look, you're playing with house money. You come off the bench as a backup quarterback. You're not prepared for this moment, so why not take your shot and get the chance?
Brady Quinn.
There and just cut it all loose. I want to give Coach Helm a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Graham Harrell as well. This is the second time now they've dealt with this. You're going into a game or going into a tough stretch of games, and you're preparing one quarterback, and then all of a sudden you got to make these adjustments in game. You're going to figure out a way of winning. They did that here tonight versus a very formidable opponent. So hats off to Coach Helm, Graham Harrell, everyone on their offensive staff for making that adjustment. Clancy Pendergast, I'm sure some things changed defensively too.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Brady, man. I thought just amazing job. The third string quarterback step in and play like that. But we also got to give credit to this defense, man, because this defense came up big time after time after time again. Even when they were backed up, they still came up with the turnover. They found ways to make plays on special teams, blocking the field goals, but also they won the line of scrimmage, which I talked about earlier. I thought the defensive line did a tremendous job creating pressure on Huntley, and then also creating negative plays in a run game. And again, I can't speak enough about the job they did because they were put in some tough situations. The offense was not holding on to the ball a lot, and they came up big, man. I couldn't be more happy.
I mean, look, every statistical category. Utah had more first downs. They had 7 more total yards. They had 225 more rushing yards. They had the football for 30 more plays, 17 more minutes. They won the turnover margin.
Yeah.
In any other game, usually you sit there and say that's a winning formula.
Yep.
Tonight it wasn't the case though, and it's really to me their defense getting timely stops, in particular down the red zone, and then their offense just making big plays, and that's part of the game at college
So
football.
what you're saying is we picked the right team to win, right?
We did.
Hey, Matt, who did you pick to win again? Remind
Listen,
me.
I'll eat my
Twitter.
Twitter's reminded me all night. I picked Utah, and I love USC. I love my team. I thought Utah came in as a better football team. I was wrong. USC, well-deserved, great game. Unbelievable.
Reverse psychology.
That's what I always do. People forget about that.
That's what it was. It's reverse psychology.
The big story, though, Brady, third string quarterback coming out here.
And I think the bigger question, this is my question to Coach. Matt Fink played his tail off. And so much so that I think it warrants a conversation or maybe a little bit of discussion on what do you do next week if Keaton Slovis comes back healthy. Last time we saw Keaton Slovis, he struggled on the road versus BYU. So far in the beginning of the game, you really couldn't tell, but got two guys now who I think you can both operate within the system successfully. What do you do next week?
Well, first of all, that's the all good in college athletics. That young guy sitting right there, he could have left his teammates and transferred. All the transfer portal getting all that attention, stuck it out. He deserved that. I don't know if I've ever been more happy. I saw that. You see the look in his eyes? He came in his home training, and all he talked about is his teammates. All he talked about is the best receivers he has in the country. I thought that was freaking awesome. And what they said, dude, that's a hard guy to beat out now. I mean, next week, how's that not your starting
That's a good problem to have.
Right?
It's a good problem to have.
So you go with the hot hand? I mean,
I think go with the hot hand, and then you don't know what's behind door number 2. And a credit to Clay Helton, Graham Harrell, and that staff. To get a third string quarter, I'm telling you, it's really hard. You guys know that.
Yeah.
How do you get those practice reps? Slovis needed all the reps. He had to be engaged, locked in, intensity on the sideline too after he scored. I mean, the country doesn't know that guy, but I got a feeling they are.
Okay,
That's
we're going to put
incredible.
on one thing. JT Daniels, I saw him on the sidelines helping out those guys. You know, he's injured. He's not going to be a part of the team in that way this year. Kudos to him, too, for stepping in and sharing some of that wealth and knowledge, man. I mean, we've been in those scenarios before.
And I was at practice on Monday, and I had a chance to hang out with the quarterbacks from Graham Harrell. It's a very close, for being a young group, and actually Matt Fink is the veteran of that group, but for being a young, relatively inexperienced group, they're really close, and you can see that. So I think JT and Matt, you can tell that their bond is strong. The team loves them. You can see how they rally around all of those guys. And I would just say this. We talked about the 3-game stretch. This was the first one, kind of the first notch on the belt. To get this win at home is huge. As you prepare to go on the road to Washington, who's a really good football team, this was just an impressive all-around performance tonight.
And after Washington, a bye, and then it's at Notre Dame. But the big story tonight, Matt Fink becoming the first USC quarterback this millennium, at least, come off the bench and throw for over 300 yards. Oh, by the way, he did it against a really good defense and number 10 Utah. The Trojans right back in the thick of things. They are unbeaten, 2-0 in Pac-12 play. Still plenty more to come on the post-game show. We're going to talk about our big noon matchup tomorrow from Brady Madison, the Wolverines, and the Badgers. Plus, Bush League.
I forgot about Bush League. Yeah.
You may or may not be involved in this edition of Bush League, Reggie.
Yes, sir. I'm excited about the win. That's why.
Look, Matt, you know this. You know this move.
One of the great traditions being a USC football player right there.
All right, we're on commercial break, so stand by to listen to more commentating from Brady Quinn, Reggie Bush, Matt Liner, and Coach Urban Meyer. Hopefully we get some people on here to be able to talk about the football game. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the reviews and commentating comments. So what commercial? I'm on the internet looking around to see still at commercial break.
And Matt, greatest moment in U.S. football I've seen in years. We're still talking about it. I say, Coach, you're never saying we've never seen deer in headlights. We've heard the phrase, we've never seen it. I think we witnessed it. We heard to see it that fake.
Which makes it so incredible because the performance, there wasn't a deer in headlights tonight, right, the way he played, and then when he comes up here, but you just, honestly, you just see the love he has for this school and being a part of this team.
The transfer portal has gotten so much attention.
Right.
How about that guy? Could have left.
Yeah.
And what did he say why he stayed?
Yeah.
For the people
The band of brothers.
So whoever raised that guy, that was really cool to watch that. That was really good.
I got buddies in town. I gotta go find my friend.
Have a fun
I gotta go with my girlfriend. It's good game. Nothing wrong with being the USC quarterback. Rumor has it. Another ranked team in action. Number 20 Boise taking on Air Force tonight. We're gonna this one up the third quarter, and Boise State down 3. That wouldn't last long.
Oh, nice strike.
Bachmeyer to John Bates. Broncos up 17-13. Fourth quarter. Bachmeyer again. Ron Hightower. How about this catch? Oh, behind him. Oh, give me another look, please.
That was big time.
The Air Force, though, playing people close.
Broncos in the red zone on the blue turf. Next play. Robert Mahone to take it in for a 10-yard touchdown. Boise State. And the PAT was blocked, though.
Nice stiff arm. Big shot stiff arm.
Fourth from Mahomes. And another 10-yard touchdown. Broncos pull away. They win it 30-19, remain unbeaten. Go to 4-0. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern on Fox. Be sure to catch Big Noon Kickoff. We're going to lead into that massive Michigan-Wisconsin matchup. Rainy Madison for that one. Former Wolverine great. Maybe the greatest Wolverine.
Turn it down because of the rights.
11 guys in the box. What does that feel like?
One thing you really got to notice is that you got to make sure you're decisive because got that many guys in the box, holes are going to close quick. So you got to make sure your footwork, your tracks are on. You got to make sure.
If you give him a little alley to get through, he's going to find it.
The acceleration that you have, man. That's impressive. You don't find that a lot at the next level.
25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Wisconsin!
I'm talking about cone, or do you want to mix?
So, Jonathan, part of this Wisconsin offense for the opposite and throw he touchdowns as well. What was?
I think how to play off the field because I always truly talent is only got to have the right type of character, right kind of hunger, right kind of drive. Work at every guys know it's the sprint, it's the marathon. It's Jonathan Taylor. I left that conversation like a great person, kind of success this year. But most importantly, man, reminds he process. I think that's important because a lot of times out of that, right? We're always trying, but love with the process of. I love that.
Look, he's a great player. He only continues to progress. He's impact more in the way he wins. You're a throw offense. You do offense, breaking down the. Really start on the back. He's a fullback, right? A weak side. On. You're a linebacker. You got to deal with these. Johnson, Jonathan Taylor. Another key. It, right. They will come right with it again. You have to run the trap. Kick out. The guard pulls. The fullback coming to help you, and then running 3 on the pull that power. Stop it. He'll come right. Unconvinced. Now in college football, coach, when you're trying to prepare your team for a running it's difficult. Very often for me. It's more spread offense.
Talking so much about Jonathan Taylor, who's a great player, but how about Jack? I think Michigan defensively, the focal points, hey, we're going to stop this running back. We're going to put 8, 9 guys in the box, so we're going to force this throwing. Not off to a great start. Complete throws, thrown an interception. And you have him up a pump, I think. If he makes coverage quick, out on the outside gives him that playmaking ability, but comes to Jack Bone, throw the football, convert third downs, keep your offense on, knowing that the Taylor in the backfield.
Go back, obviously. Line of scrimmage, he waited. Not the same. This is going to be offensive. Advertised early. It happened, and they won't.
And we were talking to Charles Woodson today. Charles Woodson was on the power. Told me, open things, guys to get some
If they play in a box, Johnson wins. Play in a box, spread the field. This way. That's all. Not wide and play. When we Johnson played in a box, you lose. Not to the first camp. Have the people lacking how to get out.
Rain expected throughout the game. On the forecast. On the field, Charles Woodson over.
How's that? Not the fit away.
There you go.
Woodson on the field, 100%. 100%. But it's good television. Television came. Television. Oh man. The head. I'll have a report from the app. Notre Dame. Georgia. And pushing the start Saturday strong. Saturday on Fox. As number 11 this on number 13 Wisconsin. It all starts with Illinois and then Wisconsin. All part of Big Saturday on Fox. Sponsored by AT. The people have spoken. They agree. Nobody does. Like Wendy's. So all spice. Because we're bringing our spicy nuggets while they're hot. Those who can't spice, try our spicy. So good. Well said. Or go to the delivery or dash.
Gotta edit that. Commercial break, everybody.
Georgia, the Irish, a double-digit underdog in the first true test for both teams campaign. For more on what should be one of the games of the year in college football so far, at least, here's our Sarah Walsh in Athens.
Rob, so much has changed since the last time Georgia and Notre Dame years ago. Georgia has played in 2 SEC championships, a national championship, the Sugar Bowl, the Rose Bowl. The Irish have also made a playoff appearance. Both teams have been in the national spotlight since that day that the Bulldogs beat the Irish by 1 in South Bend. Now, Brian Kelly's crew would love to return the favor between the hedges on Saturday. And Kirby Smart knows that the last time his team beat the Irish, it was pivotal for his program.
I don't think I realized at the time how important it was. At the time, it was the next victory, but it certainly gave that team confidence. They could play with anybody in the country, and since then, we've been able to compete with some big-time matchups.
These are the kind of matchups that that's what you sign up for. That's why you come and play college football at Notre Dame, because you want these matchups. So it's going to be a great challenge. It's a great football team, but our guys are excited about the opportunity.
A record crowd of more than 90,000 is expected to be on hand for the only top 10 showdown of this weekend. And while Georgia's used to playing big games, Kirby Smart told me they haven't seen one quite like this in a long time. You would have to go way back. The last time that Georgia hosted a non-conference top 10 team year was 1966.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Time now for episode 2 of Bush League. Let me tell you, Bush League episode number 1 delivered big time.
You set the bar. Have we changed the title page yet? Have we changed the title page, or is it still always?
I don't know. Do we have a graphic for?
Let's see the cap. Let's see this. Baby. Let's get started. Bush Week number 1. Here at Fox, our motto is we own the fall, but this is absolutely ridiculous.
Here at Campbell's timepiece.
Oh, God. Goodness.
Yeah, that's ESPN sideline reporter.
Oh, Lord. I hope
Are they okay? Are they
I'll say
okay?
a prayer for her.
Wait, here. What's
Lawyer up.
Who raised you? Who raised you? Number 2, Miami senior and former walk-on Jimmy Murphy really puts the U in
Rudy,
Give me answer.
Rudy, your wife tweeted about
She
this.
did, actually, so let's look at this now. Oh, and then he turns into a little somersault. What was that?
How tall is he? 5? He look like about 5'6".
It's pretty athletic, though.
Look at that.
Guy.
Number 3, fellas, have you ever heard of the term lookout block? Well, if you haven't, take a look at this one. Oh, good heavenly God.
Oh, no chance.
Oh, baptism.
It's worth every time.
Oh, gosh.
Everybody look at that.
Poor guy.
No, it gets worse and worse every time he's
Poor
here.
guy.
Last one, number 4, last but not least. We've seen a lot of coaches dancing in the locker room, fam. I don't know about this. What's this, electric slide?
I don't know what that is.
We got Coach Mack doing the Macarena.
Uh-oh, wait.
Please tell me.
Who's that?
Two-step coach.
And the jab. The jab.
I don't want the jab, but you do it again.
Come on, baby.
One more time.
Hey,
On the move. On the move.
Hey.
That's awful. That's why I don't do it anymore. That's awful.
That's why. That's why I don't do it.
Background, though.
Fun to laugh at other people.
Max was the worst.
Yeah, that was not good.
Deflect.
It's not the second word.
Thanks, Coach.
Well,
Good stuff.
you're always on camera, Coach. You're always on camera. We'll see you 11 a.m. Eastern over on Fox. Big noon kickoff, Wisconsin and Michigan.
All right, we're on commercial break again, so internet, so hopefully get a comment or for you. I haven't looked. I do what I can do. Still at commercial.
Oh, did you tell her to say?
No. I was
right.
I was trying to keep it underground, but you know you got a big on Sunday.
Really?
I co-hosted the red carpet with
Really?
Kelly McCarthy and Kelly Osbourne.
Are
Yours
you
true.
How did you do that?
You know,
Boy, they're
they reaching. Talking to Viola Davis, Ursula Ali. Yeah, that's a big thing.
somebody upset or I don't know.
You're rubbing elbows with all the hot shots.
Everybody turned them down, and it's like, okay, let's ask Shannon.
Somebody's trying to today, but somebody doesn't have a little lane change like I do. We're gonna open it.
Keep that thing open.
I think covered up.
I'm surprised you. No shirt, no tie again, no tie again. I don't do ties. Still do ties over here.
All right, guys. So much
Here
to
we go.
get to this morning. Tons on our plate. Have we discovered Dak's greatest weekend vlog? If we're not going to talk
We're gonna
about that
ask
one.
that?
Also, this one sticks with me. Will Sean Payton actually be happier without Drew Brees? Explain that theory. First, though, we've got to talk about Antonio Brown. Yesterday, Nike dropped AB's sponsored athlete. Now, AB's second accuser, the woman who revealed to SI.com that Brown made an unwanted sexual advance on her, says Brown also recently sent her threatening text messages in a group thread with people. In those messages, the number that's labeled as Brown's accuses the woman of making up the story for money. The woman's lawyer sent a letter to the NFL calling Brown's conduct, quote, intimidating and threatening to our client in violation of the NFL personal conduct policy. Hot, thick, and how do you think it will impact the NFL's decision about Brown?
I think it's going to make it a lot easier. At some point this year,
I agree.
if you don't mind, let's take the Nike dropping him.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's surprised with that. Of the helmet company that last week. I don't think anybody wants to. The allegation, sometimes the mere mention of impropriety in situations like this, brands do not want their name associated with that player. Now, I think if these allegations turns out to be just allegations. I believe maybe these brands would have come back to AB. But given what has transpired over the last 24 hours, Skip, I think that's highly unlikely now. Skip, AB has a problem. That he does not think the rules are applicable, or he has a problem controlling himself.
Agreed.
What would make you think that by someone accusing something, and the way you want to go about and handle this situation, elicit her in a group, threaten her, I guess not threaten, but put her in a group thread with some other people, and going back and forth. Now, either things are at play, Skip, that he did not know had included her in the group thread,
By accident.
or deliberately did that to let her know, I'm coming for you.
Correct.
Those are the only two things that are at play here. But if you notice, everyone else is replying, except who's the attorney. Because he knows how he gets it. I'm not about to lose my license.
He was on there.
Yes, I'm
AB's
attorney. I'm not about to get barred. Skip, that would be the equivalent. Let's just say for you and I, me and Skip, we robbed the bank. Wells Fargo, right up here on the Avenue of the Stars. Now, our good friend, Ken Hale, is the branch manager. Hey, Skip, how much money we get from Wells Fargo? And we copy Jen is in the group thread. That's what AB did. Does he not understand, Skip, that
No,
this
if
is...
there was method to this, there'd be no method to that madness, right? What good would that do? This could do it, find some good, threaten and take her in shrinking back and not coming after him.
Well, guess what she did? Went right to her attorney. Her attorney got him and said right to the NFL. Yeah, but the general rule of thumb is that you're not to have contact. If somebody accuses you of something, you don't have contact with that person, because anything that you do, they're going to look at it as you're threatening them, or you're trying to intimidate a potential witness.
Okay, but just record. Here, 2 Sports Illustrated and then NFL. I seek no remuneration here. I don't want any financial return here from him. I'm not seeking that.
Right.
So the point is threatening a witness who doesn't even want to be a witness, right? Like she doesn't want anything from you. Why wouldn't you just leave it be?
Well, I don't know at this time, so I don't know that maybe that changes over time. Maybe it wasn't until he took it. Because sometimes, Skip, you know what? I ain't got no problem. I'm well enough alone, but you keep bringing me into the fray. I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you something to get upset about. Why would you look well enough alone? You have something enough, a big heap already on your plate.
I would.
You don't need to add anything else to it. It's gonna be hard pressed for me to that another 2 pass without the NFL having a face-to-face conversation with Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he hopes to gain from this. Because right now you're radioactive. And the Patriots are doing a great job of shielding some of that radioactivity. On the field, playing, they're winning, and they've done a great job. You had to answer questions yesterday of shielding you from the media. Because you didn't talk Sunday after the game. You didn't talk yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, briefly. Yeah, I'm talking about you didn't talk Wednesday.
Right.
You briefly talked yesterday, so you'll be done today. You're not going to talk Saturday. Probably won't talk again Sunday. So they've done a good job, but somehow you just pull the tarp off and just let everybody like, okay, this is who I am. I don't get it, but it just goes to show you. And I said this, and you go back, doesn't get it. I do. Well, I'm done. I'm out. Proud. He's gonna continue to exhibit this type of behavior until there's some sort of punishment. There hasn't been any punishment yet, Skip, because guess what? When he did what he did in Kansas City after the divisional game, he got rewarded with a contract. Acted out and said what he said to Mike Mayock and threatened Mike Mayock, got another 15 from the Patriots. So there have been no ramifications for his behavior.
But
There you go. And so it's going to be hard for me to, at some point, NFL does not have a conversation. I believe it's coming sooner or later. I would be shocked. Doesn't happen too. And I'm going to be even more shocked if you don't sit him down for a
all your points. How much Football League wait to take some kind of action against Antonio Brown after Nike flat out dropped him? Just to refresh people's memories, Nike hung in with Tiger after all of his off-the-course issues.
But it was a little different. Tiger was his fidelities. There was nothing going on with the sexual assault allegations. I think that's a. But even if a lot of them dropped Tiger Woods for infidelities. Look at AT. Look at all those other
Talk
sponsors.
about Nike. Always liked stars with some edge.
Yes.
Some edge.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
But this going over the edge.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
For booming, coming so bad for business. Nike said no after it hung in with Tiger and Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe. Yeah,
Ben Roethlisberger
Yep.
hung in with them. Neymar now, Ronaldo now hung in. They're all a little different situations. Yeah, AB said, that's enough. That should reverberate offices in New York City National Football League. Nike said no.
right.
Doesn't that mean they have to say no in some way, shape, or form for just conduct unbecoming? This has nothing to do with a rape accusation. This is beyond all that.
Yeah, Breonna Taylor is over here by
That's
herself.
over here, but that's over here.
By herself.
Don't know that she said. Here, we just don't know.
Correct.
But we certainly respect her civil filed. But this is a whole year of just behavior upon misbehavior after incident after incident. Now, this is the most brazen one of all. This is the hardest one of all because you're on the thinnest of ice, just on conduct policy, right?
See, we already watching you. It's kind of like if you got the FBI, you're watching you. Know they watching you, and still you go out and do something that calls them to say, okay, now we got to bring you in.
That's just saying, I'm above your
Thank you.
right?
Thank you, NFL. You don't tell me what to do.
So, that characterizes, told the story in SIR.
Right, correct.
Went no farther than that. The league asked to talk to her and she said, I'll tell you my story from 17. But calls her a super broke girl, post demonstrate, awful broke, clearly. What's such a low blow? It's just
Why you bring the
so
lady?
ugly.
Why you bring the lady kids?
That's what I'm saying. It's on the thinnest of ice. Here came her attorney, Lisa J. Banks, attorney for this artist, and Reese, look, she is a starving artist.
Most stars skip.
Most are.
Picasso and Rembrandt, they died.
They died starving.
Thank you. Every once in a while, you get a Jackson Pollock, or you get a Coon. The guy, artist that makes money while they're alive. But for the most part, Skip, that's not a very lucrative thing.
No. J. Banks says her client no money to compensate her for sexual misconduct. NFL did respond to this letter from Lisa Banks, hour arranging for a phone call